Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Miss V and I am a geometry teacher at a high school. And today what we're going to be talking about is CPCTC, which is corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So if this is something that you need some help with in your geometry class, and you have come to the right place. So let's just go ahead and get started. So corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, or better known as CPCTC, because us people in the math world, we don't like to say all that. So we like to abbreviate things. So CPCTC is what you'll use to basically say that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, okay? So what this basically means is, let's say we have a triangle ABC. So let me go ahead and draw this triangle on here. Let's say we have this triangle ABC, right? And I say, hey, this triangle ABC is congruent to this other triangle over here, DEF, okay? Those two triangles are congruent to each other, which means essentially they are the same, okay? So that little sign in the middle means are congruent, okay? So those two are congruent. What CPCTC says is that if I were to break the triangle down into parts, then each part of the triangle is congruent. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, okay? So if I break it down in the parts, that means if I look at segment AB or side AB, the part that corresponds to it in the other triangle is DE. So those two sides are congruent to each other. Same thing happens with BC. If I look at BC, that corresponds to EF on the other triangle. And last but not least, let's say I look at AC in green, that corresponds to DF over here, okay? So CPCTC, what it says is that each of those corresponding parts are congruent to each other, okay? You can say that about the sides. You could also say the same thing about the angles. So let's say angle A is going to be congruent to angle D, or angle CAB, FDE, okay? If you want to read the angle using 3 letters. We can also look at angle B and say that's congruent to angle E, okay? And last but not least, we can look at, let's grab red, I guess. Sure. We can look at angle C, and angle C is congruent to angle F, okay? So CPCTC is just an easy way of saying, hey, each of these parts of the triangle are congruent to each other. Now, sometimes what will happen is in a problem, so let's do a quick example. Let's say that in a problem, I tell you the measure. So let's say in the problem, I tell you triangle ABC is congruent to triangle LMN, right? Those two triangles are congruent. Then I say, hey, the measure of angle A is 50 degrees, right? And BC is 5 meters, okay? And then I tell you find the measure of angle L, okay? So from there, you know, okay, well, ABC is congruent to LMN, which means that A has to be congruent to angle A, or the measure of angle A has to equal the measure of angle L. So since we already have the measure of angle A, we know it's 50 degrees. That means that L also has to be 50 degrees, okay? So CPCTC is just a way that you can show that these parts are congruent to each other because you're saying that these two triangles are the same. We use it a lot in proofs, but I'm going to talk about that in another video when we start to get into proofs and such, because I'm going to use CPCTC to prove that, certain triangles are congruent to each other, or certain properties of triangles are true. Okay. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. The more people that I have subscribed to my channel, the more people that I can reach, which is essentially all I want to do as a teacher. So please consider subscribing to my channel and letting other people know that I am teaching geometry on here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.